think for those of you online, we are going to start in just 5 minutes here. So feel free to grab water or coffee, whatever you'd like. We'll start in just a few minutes. And at 1:05, if you cannot hear me or see my screen, just let me know. And I'm just going to put that in the chat as well in case you can't. In just a few minutes here, maybe just before 1:05. But feel free to take your time. And today's class is all about Halloween marketing. So we are going to tech time block together and we're going to get our Halloween marketing done. And this class too is going to walk you through what you should do for any holiday that's coming up, which is great now that the holiday season is in full swing. Hey, good. Yeah. Thankfully. Yes, this is supposed to be a tech time block today where we can just get together 1 hour today and get our Halloween marketing done. So we're going to do a social media post and we're also going to send out an email to everyone. All of these are just really great reasons to reach out to your sphere without being, too salesy or anything like that. So they are a great reason to reach out to your sphere and to stay top of mind with them. So holiday marketing is a great thing to get comfortable with and become a pro at in Command. And Command's tools does make it really easy. So again, we'll go over how we're going to do a social media post and we'll go over how to do an email. And if we do have any extra time, we can talk about maybe how we do a postcard, as I know that might be a great thing as the Christmas holiday comes about. I know a lot of agents do like Christmas kind of cards, and we can actually do that right from Command. So we'll try to squeeze that in if we have time today. If we actually might. And as I'm going through anything, so first and foremost, I am Jules. I'm the Market Center Tech Trainer here at KWB. And anything I go over today in class, if you have questions on or would want to dive into it deeper with a one-on-one appointment, if you click on I Need Tech Help in the top right corner, that will bring you right to our Calendly and we can book an appointment and talk through anything we go over today. So for example, when it comes time for Thanksgiving and you want to book an appointment with us and do this together, we can absolutely do that. So again, kwbresources.com and I Need Tech Help in the top right corner. And as I'm going through this today, feel free to stop me with any questions that you have, put that in the chat or go ahead and just unmute yourself and let me know. But for the most part, we'll be in Command, which is agent.kw.com. So we're going to start with a social media post today. And we're going to do the full thing where we're going to create that design. We're going to write that caption. We're going to schedule it out right from Command so that we don't even have to think of that come the holiday. So how we're going to go about this, and typically how these sections work together in Command in general, is we're going to create the design in the design section and then go blast that out in the campaign section. So let's start with that design. When we click on designs here, that's going to pull up any previous designs you've worked on. So if your screen looks a little different than mine, that's totally okay. But we're gonna click on create design in the top right corner. And since this is a social media post, we're gonna click social and then click next. And that's gonna bring us to a bunch of fun templates right in Command. So if it pops up with this, it's just trying to walk you through some new updates. Go ahead and just click the X to move us out of here. And you can always find your notifications in the top right, what's new, if you want to see that again. On the left-hand side, we're going to see a bunch of different categories. And one of them is going to be holidays, which is perfect for today's class. What's really cool is they break it down by month so that when we click on any month, we're going to see all the holidays pop up. Which is kind of fun just to see, like, for example, I didn't know Boss's Day, of course, was in October. So you can kind of see some fun, maybe unique holidays that aren't so popular. And they really do have them all here. When we click on any category on the left-hand side, we're going to get some extra options near the top here that we can narrow this down further. So for social media, a social square is going to work best. So let's just click on that to narrow down our options to only see social media posts. Once you click on that, if you scroll down to the bottom, those are where these Halloween ones are living. And you'll see there's quite a few options. There's like 8 options to choose from. Pick the one that speaks to you the most. Totally up to you, whichever one you like best. You can hover over it and click on use to start using it. I love this one. This mummy one with the KW at the end. I think it's so cute. So go ahead, if this also pops up for you, you can skip this. You don't need that. It's just letting you know that you have extra pages here. And now we can start building out our design a little bit. So for one, on every single design in Command, you're going to find this DBA name logo in the bottom right. Let's see with this. Yeah. So this is a placeholder letting you know, for compliance purposes, to remind you to put our logo. Now for our market center, we only need our like Valentine logo on listing posts. So for holiday posts, for example, you don't technically need to have our logo for compliance. But other market centers throughout the nation might, so that's why they have this template or this placeholder logo there. Also, just a note, if you plan to schedule this out from Command, there is going to be an extra setting when we go schedule that out that allows you to put our logo on the design at that point. So if you plan to schedule that out through Command, you actually do not need it because I'll show you where we can add it later. And what I did there to delete it, all you have to do is you can click on it, make sure that's highlighted. And either you can click backspace on your keyboard, or you can go up to the trash can in the top right. Maybe we would like to add some words to this piece. And we can do that by clicking the using the menu bar on the left-hand side. And then here we're just choosing the size we want that to be. So I think title might be a little too big, so I'm going to try a subtitle. And then double clicking in that text box will allow you to change what's actually in there. So we can type in there. Once we double click in there, now you see how it's like, of course, scrunched together here. We can update this. So if we click outside this box, we'll get these like dots on the edges of this text box that we can expand that out. So we can make it exactly how we like. Another tip with utilizing Command's designs If you're trying to select multiple objects at once, like for example, I would love to move this whole mummy down a little bit so I have room for this happy Halloween. So either I can click on the elements and hold shift to select multiple at a time, or I can click outside the design and drag to select that and then bring it back. So like I said, double clicking will allow you to change what's in there. But single clicking on the text box will allow you to change things like the format. So like the font, for example. And they do have quite a bit, a few different fonts in here that you can have access to. But, excuse me. Sorry. Hmm. Right. And then there's a few other things that we can do up here with the format. So we just change the font. We can also, center align this, for example. Nice, even. We can change the color of this. So maybe I want to make it, maybe I want it to match the red in his eyes. So what I did there, hold on, let me go back, that's kind of fast. So from here, we can either just pick a number or pick a color on this color chart. Or what's really cool is that we can click this eye drop icon. And we can hover over the color on our design that we'd like to mimic. So maybe if I wanted this cool teal color or this cool red color, I kind of like the teal color, it's pretty cool. So what I did is click on that teal color and now it saved that color code and now I can click apply. Well. Let me refresh. Okay, let me redo that real fast so I can get back to where I was. It looks like my internet cut out, so it's just, it made me go back. So let me get back to where we were, just super fast. At least you can see these steps again. The silver lining. Now I'm kind of scared to try the attribute tool again. I might just change it to red just in case that caused that to freak out. But in general, that's how you do that. And I think that's really a cool touch to really match your font colors and your design together. I like this red as well, it matches eyes. I think that's really cool. What's also really cool, and I wouldn't necessarily do this for this design per se, just because it has like a pretty big design in there, so I'd be blocking it. But I wanted to just show you real quick how we can add our headshots to any design in command while I'm in here. So where I went is under images in my asset, near the top once I click images. And your headshot should be in here, it's pulling from your marketing profile. But in case it's not, you can also add that in like so, this red plus sign. But what I could do is I could add myself to this, holy cow, and I guess I'm huge. And make myself way smaller. But then I could come, so once I have my image in here, there's an option to remove my image background. So that I could remove that. And once that loads, like so, I can put myself like kind of in front of the design. So this is a great thing to do for like listing posts, to put your face on it. And maybe a design that isn't so like watched. But I just wanted to show you that tip because it is newer and it is a really cool feature that typically you have to pay for with other platforms. All right. Now that we have our design ready to go. Well, this is kind of cool, like this element space. Well, they're trying to mimic Canva, so they do have a bunch of cool features in here. Like I typed in Halloween and I have a bunch of cool extra graphics that I could add to my design. So let's say I love cats, for example, and I just really wanted to add a cat. Maybe I add bottom like so, and give this a little more pizzazz. I just want to point out these elements over here in this section because it is really cool. Like how cool is this? What do you? All right. So moving right along, let's download our design now that we've made our changes to our design. And if you're still working on your design, no worries, feel free to either pause the video or you can keep working on it in the meantime. But I'm gonna now show how we can then, now that we've created this, now we can go schedule that out in Command. So actually, if you're still working on your design, for one, go ahead at the top here and we can rename our design so we know what it is. No one sees this except us, so just making sure that we know what the design is so we can use it right away. I also like to download a version as a JPEG to my computer, just so I have a copy on my computer in case anything arises. And then I can click done in the top right corner to move us back into Command. And if you are still working on design, go ahead and follow these steps anyway, because what's cool is that Command does auto save all your designs. So you don't have to find like the save button in your design, it's auto saving it. And then we can always get back to it when we come to designs. This is your own personal design library of any designs you previously worked on. So you will not lose any of your work if you follow my next steps. So at least go ahead and practice scheduling out a social media post on Command. And where we do that is going to be campaigns. If this happens, just click refresh. This has been happening to me a few times lately, and refreshing it always fixes it. So don't panic. Next, when we come to campaigns, it brings us to this like overarching campaign dashboard. But we can come over to social posts to come to our quote unquote social dashboard. So we can see, any posts that we've previously scheduled out from Command. You'll have your whole social calendar here in theory if you're all doing that from Command. So there's a couple ways we can go about this. One, we could either click create campaign in the top right and do social posts. Or we could come to this calendar, and you do have to change it. Well, I mean, again, a couple ways we can go about this. If you scroll down a little bit, you could either do create social posts under October 31st, since it's Halloween, you click there. Or if you wanted to, so the third way, we could change this week view to a month view, which might be nice in general if you're trying to see what all you have going on with social media. And then clicking on the day you would like to post on. This is the third way to get to this screen, which is our social post build out. Now, if your says you don't have any social media accounts connected up at the top, you can connect your business accounts by clicking your name and going to settings. And you'd want to connect the post scheduling setting in that page. And again, they do have to be business accounts. So this is posting onto my business page. And if I have my Instagram connected up from this drop down, I could connect, or I could select my Instagram and post there as well. But again, that does have to be a business Instagram account. For content, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to add in my design. So using that little picture icon, we can click on add media. And then we can click to browse designs, and we're going to be able to browse our design library. And sorry, that was kind of quick. What I did, I just clicked my design from that screen, and I'm able to now click crop image. And I can see that on the right hand side. I can see a preview. Now for the caption, I'm not good with words, so I like to use ChatGPT. No need to waste time thinking about it too much. We have tools like ChatGPT that can help do it for us. So I like to start my prompts with a frame of reference. So I like to say, act as a real estate professional. And write a for a Halloween post with a mummy. Maybe it'll give us some fun. Free this. Just like this mummy, we're unwrapping the secrets to finding your dream home. That is crazy good. I love it. This is why I love ChatGPT. There's no way I could come up with something. Okay, from this point, and you know what's cool too, is that because I said write a social media caption, it put hashtags in there, it put emojis, it put it all. So at this point, we could just click this icon here to copy that. Come into our text here and paste that in. Wow. Just like that. Here is where you will see that we can add our DBA logo. So again, you do not have to do that in the design section if you are going to schedule that from command. And for our market center compliance, you only need it for listings. And the very last step here is we're going to schedule that out. Oh, it's so great. I like to. Sorry for the intermission. Say hello to my mom. Oh. All right, so last step here is we're going to schedule this out. So because we clicked on this day from the calendar, it already put us on October 31st. But in case you just went up to create campaign and social posts, you can also select that day here. And you can even select the time. And then it's a matter of clicking schedule post in the top right corner. And boom, we did a social media post for Halloween. So you don't have to think of it on that. You're touching your sphere in a great way, a great fun way. I'm just going to take this drop personally. Okay. All right. So now those are the steps for social media posts. Let's talk through now how we can get this out in an email as well. Because the two free channels for you for marketing is going to be social media and email. Those are two free ways to get in front of your sphere. So those are the ways we want to prioritize our marketing. in ways that we want to get in front of them. And we're actually going to use this content that we post on social media and put that in the email. So one, we're saving ourselves time, but two, you might think that might be a little repetitive. Like, what if they see that in both places? In general, people tend to get their news in different ways. Some people might like to get their news in email form. Some might like to get it in social media. For example, I never check my email. So you could send me emails all day and I would never, ever see it. But I do check my social media. So that is a way you get in front of me. And that, of course, wouldn't be repetitive to me because that's the way I like to get my news, or I like to get my content from. So the whole idea of getting your content out with the same content on all the channels, it's not repetitive. It's actually just making sure that you're getting in front of them in whichever channel they prefer. So what we're going to do for this next example is we're going to go back to designs. Because like I said previously, we're going to create things in designs and we're going to go send them out in campaigns. That's how that works. Once we are in designs, we're going to go up to create design. We're going to do email. So this is an email. Now, when we are looking at these templates, there's a few templates that we can use here. And there's not too many, especially holiday wise. However, I would still recommend just using a template because KW nicely aligns these templates so that we don't have to worry about it. And then we can just go switch out the content to make it what we want it to be. So again, I'm under designs, create design, email. And then I did click load more at the bottom so that I could see this Happy New Year email. So click on that and click this. All right, we're going to build this out though for Halloween. So what we're going to do is first, we're going to start with this image here. When we are working on this design, we just want to make sure it says image on what we're hovering over, and then we can double click on it. And then that editor will appear on the right-hand side. So again, double click on the element you want to change. And then we're going to start editing it on the right-hand side. So with that image, we can click on replace. And we can go over, for one, just a heads up, we have access to all the listing images here, which is super cool. And but we can also go over to add images and click to browse our computer. That's why I wanted to download that file. It's JPEG. Oh, that was really fast. There's an extra step there that I always like to mention. When we add our design, this replace button might be grayed out until you click on, so like you might have to scroll down a little bit. You have to click on that image you're trying to add and then click replace. And then also from here, we do not actually click save. We want to click this arrow button to move us along. And then we click save. But that arrow button is what gets that to populate on the design. Now for the text part, that's when I'm going to go back into ChatGPT. And I'm actually just going to say, okay, great, rewrite this for an email. It gives you the subject. It gives you all the words that you would need here. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to paste it here. Now I'm going to keep this dear contact first name because I do love the customization, personalization of using merge tags, which is what that is. It will actually fill in with the contact's first name. So it seems like a really personal email. But the rest of it, I'm going to change. And I will say, I don't know how well Command actually does with emojis in the email. The one platform we use doesn't really like it, so I try to stay away from it. It's fine in the subject, but like as the body of the text, sometimes I see some errors, so it's something to point out. I don't necessarily recommend them, but hey, if you give it a go and it works perfectly, go for it. Now, of course, read this, make sure it sounds like you. Make sure it's everything that you wanted to say. You can add anything you would like. But truly, from this point, all we would have to do is click the arrow, and that's what saves it on the left-hand side. Now, before we save and close, I love to go up to options and do preview. So I can see all these merge fields pulled in. Also, in the top right from here, if I click search contacts, I can pick an example contact so that I can also see this contact first name merge field pull it as well. So truly looking at it with all its glory and exactly how I want it to be. At the top, we can even see, you know, how this would look resized to different views, like mobile, whatever. But yes, now from here, we can click the X to move us back in and do save and close in the top right to get us back into command. I forgot to rename this, so that might be confusing. If you would like to, if you also forgot because I forgot. If you click the three dots in the top right corner, like hover over that design and click the three dots, you can click on rename. And we can say Halloween said, so we know what this is. Right? So we build this out in designs. Let's go send that out in campaigns. Oh, you know, it looks like the email section might be down from campaigns right now. So I'm going to show you how we can actually do this in a workaround. And I will say this wouldn't necessarily be the best way I would go about it. Like in general, I would recommend that we email this out from campaigns, and there typically is an email section. And that is because the campaign section is great for emails that are time-based. So holidays, for example, if you're like scheduling that out for a specific day, campaigns is perfect for you. We can send emails out through smart plans. Typically, we wouldn't do that because this is more duration based. So for example, a lead comes in from an open house, it waits 3 days, and then it sends them an email. It waits 4 days. So it's like more duration based. But we can still use this as a workaround, and I'll just show you those steps in case this ever arises. And so that we can successfully do our pilot. So I'm going into the smart plan section right here. And I'm going to go up to create in the top right corner because we're going to do a brand new. So we're in smart plans. We're going to go up to create. Let's go ahead and name this Halloween. Oops. And create plan. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to use this left-hand side. We're going to use the send email step, click and drag that over and drop it to the middle. And then we're going to start building this out on the right-hand side again. So for the email type, we're going to change this to designs because we want to pull in that design that we worked on together. Simple is just allowing you to type whatever words right here, just like a simple text email, but designs allows us to pull in our pretty designs. For the subject, I'm going to copy what ChatGPT said. But of course, get creative, make it sound like you. And emojis do work well in subjects. So that's something that's actually really engaging and help with open rates to actually put that in there. So I'd recommend having one. Then we can click select design and select our email design right here, the first one. And it does allow us to make any additional changes we may need, so we can make those here. Or we can just go up to save and close in the top right to move us along. So now we got our subject, we got our design. All we have to do now is click add step in the bottom right. And then click save plan in the top right. All right, so now this is the smart plan is essentially just sending an email out with our design, and that's what it's doing. So now that this is built out, we can click the X in the top right to move us back into command. And I recommend, so we can add more contacts to a smart plan in the contact section. So that's what I would recommend doing. Oh, that's why. And some people's databases on default are showing only 10 contacts at a time. We can add up to 500 contacts at a time to a smart plan. So go ahead and change that to 500 contacts. So you're saying all your contacts, maybe, or maybe a page of your contacts. Then we can click the top checkbox to select all, view actions, and add the smart plan. Hit select. And select the Halloween one. Oh no, wait. There you go. Now, when we click our smart plan, it's going to show us any contacts that may have an error. So this is showing me anyone with a missing email. So I can just remove these contacts since they're not going to get it since they don't have an email. And then this is this key step here. We can click to start on a specific date. Since this is Halloween, we can click to start on that date. Make sure that says 31st. And then click confirm and add those to the smart plan on the 31st. So that's how we can schedule that out via smart plan as a workaround since campaigns is down right now. Now, if you do have more than 500 contacts, you would have to do that a couple times or maybe more depending on how many contacts you have. But the same steps would apply. We just go to the next page. We do select all, add the smart plan, and just keep doing these steps until we've added all your contacts to that smart plan. Any questions on how we go about designing things in command or sending them out in command? All right, awesome. Well, those are the ways that we can get our social media posts out and email out. So if you did follow along today, you are ahead of the schedule and you're ready to go for your Halloween marketing. I do want to, since this is more of a holiday driven class, I do want to also show you how we can do a postcard from command as well. And I'm just going to do like a Christmas themed postcard. I know it's not quite that season yet, but I think this is going to be one of the most common uses of like a holiday postcard. So I'm just going to go through those steps. Okay. So first, we're going to go into designs. Would you rather learn postcard or do a blog post on your website? Yeah. Oh, okay. A blog? Yeah. Okay. I agree. So instead of the postcard, and if we still have time, we can kind of talk through that. Sorry to change things up, but I think this would be also helpful to learn how to do a blog post on your website as well. So that's another free kind of social marketing to do. And aside from that, it's really, really good for SEO, which is search engine optimization, aka basically how far you rise up on Google when you're searched. So your websites in general don't have great SEO, just because everyone typically kind of has the same layout content on their website. So a lot of the KW websites are grouped together, so they don't rise up on Google very well. However, adding content or blog posts to your website is a really great way to rise up on Google so that you show up for things outside of real estate. For example, let's do one like on haunted houses in Charlotte. That's going to be our example today, what we're going to write about. And the whole idea is that if anybody is searching on Google haunted houses in Charlotte, that's a reason your website might show up, aside from like searching real estate. Because real estate is a very saturated search. So there's just a very slim chance your website would ever come up for searching real estate or NC real estate. So that's why adding really unique, fun blog posts to your website can be really, really effective. Let me know if you have questions on like the why behind that. But the how to do this now is way easier than ever. Because the new website experience does allow for your blogs to really allow you to add blogs to your website more easily. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into the website section, which is that last icon on the left-hand side. And then we're gonna click on agent or edit agent site right in the middle of the page. That button there. And what's cool is that we actually don't even need to go into expert mode. Stay on this page, we're on basic mode. And we're gonna go to the left-hand side to that plus icon. And when we hover over it, it says add content, and we're gonna click on that. And what we can do here is we can click on blog post to start adding our blog posts to our website. So there's a couple things it's gonna prompt for. It's gonna prompt for an image, it's gonna prompt for headline. It does prompt for a sub-headline. It's not required though, only the ones with red X, those red stars are required. And then of course are the body of our blog post. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over to ChatGPT, always. Don't ever feel the need that you need to sit down and write a whole blog post by yourself. You could simply find an article you like online, tell ChatGPT to rewrite it. And I might use that example today just so I can show you a new example of how we can use ChatGPT. A really great resource as a Charlotte realtor is Axios. I don't know if you guys have used that before. But I follow Axios to stay up to date, all that's going on in Charlotte. They tell me about business openings, things to do. And they actually have a whole Charlotte division, so it's super, super local. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's Charlotte. Okay. Charlotte.axios. So it shows some news, and this is all blogs written by of course this company. Let's see here. Let me go up to things to do. I'm gonna try to find something that's a little more Halloween themed. Ah, see? Quite a few things happening this week in Charlotte, including Halloween parties. Great. Wait, I don't think you have to do that. Well, that's new. It doesn't usually make me do this, but I guess this is new. I am so surprised it's on next one. Looks like I'm signing up. I recommend honestly signing up that way. I'm sure they're gonna send this or like send these updates right to my email inbox, which is even better. I don't even have to go into this website. It can be sent right to my inbox, and I can take that content and start making blog posts with that. That can be almost like the notification for you to go make a blog post about. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy all this. And I do there, so you're gonna see these ads in here. I mean, you can like copy it all and then go back and delete it in ChatGPT, but I'm just going to copy and paste strategically. But I'm first gonna start with act as a real estate professional. And write a blog, let me say, here you go. Blog post for my website. Or rewrite a blog. And then I'm gonna do like colon and then in quotation marks. I'm gonna start pasting this in here. And don't feel like, you know, like a couple of those events had already passed, you know, for example. So I mean, yeah, you could delete them, but again, the whole idea here is we're trying to put as many keywords onto our website so that we can rise up on Google. So it's really all about keywords. All right, so now I can just click enter. Oh, wait, oh. I'm gonna rewrite this for me. Perfect. And I would love to copy and paste this over. I will say, just as a tip, typically when there's bolding in here, it doesn't copy and paste over nicely, and I can show you what I mean by that. When I go back to paste 10, you'll okay, never mind. It did do it nice. Never ignore what I did. All right, let's go back and copy this whole thing then. And we can paste this right in here. Okay, this is what it does. It's what the asterisk. Oh, so if I copy and paste this. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a fun workaround I just discovered. That's exciting. So instead of copying, it does not like the formatting this way. So if you instead like highlight everything and copy that way, it actually does save the bolding, which saves yourself tons of time. Oh my gosh, I don't really. Okay. And go ahead and space this out. You know, feel free to make this look exactly how you'd like. Yes. Lovely. Then I do need to give it a headline. I'm gonna copy what ChatGPT set up here. Love it. Need it, gotta have it. Oh. Perfect. And then the last thing I need here is a image. And it's not required, but I really, really would recommend it because it makes your blog post look a lot nicer and more professional. So what we could do, I would recommend using either Pexels or Pixabay. So Pexels is PXEL.com. This is Pexels, or Pixabay, PIXABAY. And what these sites are stock image sites, so that like compliance-wise with copyright infringement isn't an issue. So these are all free images to use for you without fear of getting. And here we can just search for anything at all and see what we find. I'd like to be sometimes they're kind of weird just because they're stock photos, but really get creative with your searches. There's different ways that you can start looking for that. Like maybe I want more like a poly vibe. Ooh, I don't like this. Oh, I'm gonna go back. I really like that. This one's so cute. But yeah, get creative with your searches. If you're not finding what you need, just start searching like, pumpkin patch or something like that. Like if you get more creative with your searches, you're gonna find different stuff. But then, oh, that was the best. I just clicked on, I hovered over at the download to save that to my computer. At this point, I can go back to my website page, search for that. And then, boom, those are all the things we need. You can add a subline and just. And then we can click publish in the top right corner. Boom. See, it's really not that bad with ChatGPT. If you literally find an article you like and tell ChatGPT to rewrite it, so that you don't have to be creating blog posts, but you can still be enhancing your website in a really great way. And now just to show you how that looks like on my website. Scroll down to the bottom. Your blogs are going to be here. Oh, see, this is what I did last time. You can either get to your blogs by clicking blog on the top right. You can do explore more articles. And here's my wonderful blog. And I can click on it and I can see it. And I can see all the stuff that it wrote out for me. And what's even cooler too is that we can use this URL. Let's go Facebook. Now this wouldn't really work on Instagram because you cannot put links in your caption because it's not clickable. But now what we can do is if we want to share this blog post out to everyone, like you just created this, why wouldn't you want to go share that out? One, it's a great social media post. The second way, it shows people how much of an expert you are by even having a blog. You already are coming off as an expert. So, but we can really get that out there, share it with people, and get it in front of your friends by creating a social media post on Facebook. And what I would do is I would talk back to ChatGPT and say, okay, rewrite this as a social media caption to drive people website to read people blogs. So now I'm going to copy all that. And I'm going to go back to Facebook. I'm going to paste that in. There we go. And I'm going to take our blog URL. Where it's supposed to. What's even cooler is that this is gonna be a thumbnail of that image that we added to our blog. So now we can go post this out. So we created 2 social media posts today in a matter of no time. And we also sent out an email. And we have to enhance our website. So all these things really are possible if we can just sit down, time block, and do it together, or even just use ChatGPT. It's just that. And that will drive traffic back to your website, drive traffic back to your blog. You know, even if you start getting into the habit of, really becoming a blog expert, if you're adding a lot to your blog, that's all saved right here. You can even share out your blog page onto social media. You could say, hey, have you checked out my blog yet? Check out all I have going on, all I'm sharing about. Lastly, I know we're at the last 5 minutes, and I know we totally switched gears there and we did a blog instead of a postcard. But we're gonna have a class on a Christmas postcard, like a full class on that. So just be sure to join us for that. Or of course, you can book an appointment with us on kwbresources.com. Any tech help, we can do that together if you really wanted to hear about that. The last thing I just wanted to show you really quickly here in the last 5 minutes is how we can feature that blog post on our homepage. So you'll see that this right now these are my featured blog posts, but we can change that. And how we're going to change that is actually by going into expert mode now. Okay, I'm wrong. Maybe. Hold on. We're going to click on. Yep, no, I was right. Okay, we're going to go to expert mode. Skip this. You can always take a tour later. And how to feature this on the homepage. We're going to select on the homepage to edit it. So let's click on this blue hyperlinked homepage, default homepage. And click on my blog, the my blog module, to expand that out. Now the max number you can display is 4. And this is where we can feature certain blog posts. I wonder. So from here, we can like click this drop down and select that new blog post that we just did right here. But it looks like it is dynamic. So if you have this on dynamic and newest published date, I'm pretty sure we can just delete all these. And I mean, we're going to test this out together. We did do it for us. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it does look like we might have to feature it, and maybe it is a timing thing. I'm running out of time. I have a class behind me. That's why I'm going super fast right now. Sorry if I give you a headache by clicking through all those. But you might have to feature it. You might be able to leave that on dynamic. I'm trying to see if I think you do have to feature it. So just a heads up, that's how you go about featuring it. Grab it up. And yeah, so that's how you can feature that on your website. So if you have any questions on, holiday marketing in general, you know how to book with us. Go ahead and do it. We can sit down and do it together. So thank you so much for coming today. And yeah, let us know if you have any questions. Our email is contact@JuLeahDesigns.com. Thanks for coming, guys.